Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to Drive to Escapes. I keep forgetting that. I don't normally say Drive Time Escapes. Welcome back. Obviously, this is the sister channel for Drive Time Escapes, our other channel.
Sister channel, is it? Not a little brother channel?
Does it matter?
Well, yeah, because I'm a little brother.
So you want this one to the little brother channel?
Sister channel.
Just this channel. Oh, second channel for Drive Time Escapes. So we did the Autosport International Show last week, and it was a good show, wasn't it? It was fun.
Yeah.
Lots of nice cars there.
Yes.
It's a very sporty show. It's always the first one, always the first show of the year. It's always lots of...
Yeah, they had some cool stuff there.
Yeah.
The F1 cars through the years.
Yeah, that was really
very
good. Yeah, it was really, really good. So they had like a... If you watch the video, you'll see. But they had like a bit where they go through all the cars over the years, and there were some quotes from famous people.
Different drivers and so on.
Yeah. Should we do the news?
News, yeah.
We seen anything in the news this week?
I saw that they're doing the Renault 5. Unfortunately, it's going to be electric.
They did have that at the Geneva show, but I think the one you've seen looks a bit more...
It looks like the
beefy,
turbo.
doesn't it?
It looks like the old school Renault 5 turbo. It looks awesome. I'm just so disappointed it's only going to be electric. Because you just love a beastie engine coming from that like it used to be. But it looks cool.
Yeah, so I think they've maybe... I didn't come up... I've seen it. You showed me the article, but I didn't read it. I believe it's going to be like a turbo, like a faster version of the Renault 5. But it's got all beefy side...
Yeah, it's got the
edges.
beefy old school side skirts and the alloys that full on fill the arch. It very much did just look like a very old school Renault 5 turbo.
Sweet. Personally, only thing I've really seen in the news was, I think it was this morning actually, there's a new style taxi kind of thing going around in America. And someone will like sit in like a simulator rig and they drive the taxi to wherever you are and you get in it and then you drive it yourself. So it's not, I suppose it's more like I suppose it's a combination between a taxi and a hire car. So it comes to you, you jump in it, you drive it to wherever, and then as soon as you finish with it, you say, finish with it. And then someone dials in, jumps in it, and then drives it to the next person. All via the internet and big screens, and looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Don't know if they're going to bring it here. Who knows? But I thought it was quite a good concept.
It is a good concept. I mean, I was just originally thinking, is that going to take away someone's job? But I suppose they're just going to drive it in the one place. You're going to sit there in a building and drive it, aren't you, I suppose? So it's not like you're eradicating taxi drivers.
No, but I suppose it's going to be weird, isn't it? Just seeing random cars driving around with no...
Yeah, people. I mean, maybe, I don't think it'll take off here, personally. But, yeah, you never know, do you?
No, never know.
You know, not the way this world is.
Or not. So, this video, we're going to talk about... Now, any more news?
No.
So this video we're going to talk about past cars and all the cars we've had through the years and favourite cars that we've owned and ones we would buy again. Yeah, if we ever had the chance.
We've had a few cool ones, ain't we? We've had a few nails.
Yes. Yeah. So what are we going to do? Do you want to start with yours first?
No,
and then we'll go from mine.
I think we should
each?
start with your very first car.
My very first car.
Then your second car will lead to my car, won't it? So I think we start with your car first.
Good call.
Your first car.
Yes. Okay. So my very first car was a Mini 25 special edition anniversary. If you watched the Mini video we did last year, we actually found one, and I was just like, oh, this is the same. It was almost the same registration. It was like it was 2 or 3 registration numbers away from mine. But my first car cost me 50 quid.
50 quid, yeah.
Because it was a insurance write-off. Because the lady that owned it before broke down, and they wrapped the tow rope around the main cross member where the grill is, and tried to tow it, and it ripped the whole front of the car off. And my granddad was a
Yeah.
whiz with cars, and he took it, him and his mate, the little gnome, as we used to call him.
I think I remember who it is now, yeah.
Alan,
That was it, yeah.
Alan the little
Tiny
gnome.
chap.
The little gnome. Because he always used to wear a hat as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And they put it back together, and that was my first car.
It never really let you down even.
No,
did
it was an
really?
awesome little thing. I mean, I took it to V99. Me and Alex slept in it in V99.
I don't know why I did that.
I had no idea. Me and Rob, we took it to Snowdon when we walked up Snowdon.
Yeah.
And then we parked it by the, so it went all the way there. So it did loads of little trips. Went to Blackpool a few times. Yeah, it was an awesome little car. For 50 quid, it was a bargain.
For 50 quid. I mean, we're lucky we had a granddad who knew what
Yeah.
he was doing. Well, you were lucky we had a granddad who knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, they fixed it up, and then I put some wheel trims on it, and yeah, it was my first little baby.
It was your first little run around, and it did you good.
It was good. It was a death trap.
But then again, we've heard what Conrad called death traps.
Yeah, I remember building the centre console, and I had 2 stereos in it,
Yes.
and we never managed. I don't think I ever managed to get both to work. But remember, Dad had a car that had 2 stereos in it, and it worked.
Are we talking when I was little?
Yes.
What car?
I think it was either the Senator or I think it was actually the GSR 2000.
See, I remember the first car I remember was probably the white Cavalier. I can't remember the white Cavalier. Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, it was after that. I'm sure that the other Cavalier.
The white Cavalier, and then didn't they have the silver Cavalier?
Yeah, the silver Cavalier had 2 stereos in it when they owned it.
Well, what, the one that you ended up having? Oh, I didn't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'd have been very young.
Yeah, I tried to get it was a mini disc player and a CD player, and I tried to get both to work in the car, and it never worked, never happened. But it was worth trying.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You could chuck money at stuff them days, couldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that was good fun, though.
When you were working for mum and dad.
Yes. Went to work for mummy and daddy. Say it all the time. Yeah. Paid the bills.
I'm only jealous.
Yeah, that was good fun. So I was 17 then, driving around in that. I had my little van before, didn't I, when I worked for mum and dad.
You did have.
It was company van, but I used to drive around all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, again, I was only little. Well, I wasn't that little then. I remember.
You're still
I remember. Yeah, I do remember stuff. From that.
Yeah. So second car, traded the Mini in. Actually gave me money for it. I think
you got more than what you paid for it.
I think they gave me like 500 quid for it. And it wasn't until we got down there and traded it, and the guy went, "Do you know this has been written off?" We were like, "No." Makes sense, obviously. We know now. But it was, second car was a 106 Quicksilver, and they were all the rage then. You couldn't get them when I got mine. I was quite lucky. You couldn't get them new anyway. I got mine second hand. It's only a year old, or if that,
about
6 months.
10,000 more.
Yeah, there was nothing on it. And yeah, little 1.4 Quicksilver. Back in my boy racer days.
It was very boy racer.
Weren't we all at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I turned 17. I passed my test. And I got the Quicksilver.
You did.
So the Quicksilver was my first car. I was very lucky to be given it by this gentleman here.
I mean, it was slightly modified.
Yeah, I mean, you hadn't really done much engine, it had an air filter on it and so on. It was the exhaust, wasn't it? Let's be fair. It had these big tube exhausts on the back, which was all cool. It sounded awesome until the weld's broken. It would be hanging down.
Yeah, because it was a bit too heavy, wasn't it?
Too heavy, yeah.
Yeah, for the welds, and the welds would break, and then they'd have to go back to custom chromes. Give them their dues though; they'd always pull it in and fix it free of charge every time.
I mean, there was one time when I took it in, and obviously it'd been welding up that many times that one of the exhaust pipes, one of the actual back box bit, had ripped a hole in it because it had been welded up that many times. They changed it free of charge, put a new one on, welded it back up. So as much as that, it cost you about 300 quid, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
System. Every time it broke,
Yeah.
they went and fixed it.
They were awesome, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
definitely.
really were.
Good guys down there.
Yeah, I've been to them since, and I think they did one of my 206, and it was a good exhaust system as well.
Yeah, fully custom front to back, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was just too big for the car and way too
was
much.
just too big
and it
for
would
the car.
break the hangers all the time.
The poor car, as much as we loved it, it took a battering.
It didn't help that I used to deliver pizza in it, and then you used to deliver
pizza in it.
So it was rag around town like a.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it did like, I think when I finally got rid of it, it had done about 120,000 miles. But it had, it was pretty much your first sort of boy racery car that you can drag around. And obviously, I passed my test when I was 17, and I jumped in there and I ragged it around. So, yeah, the poor thing got a good.
It had a hard life, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, it had like 110,000 miles of being driven like it was been stolen. We used to.
I thought you would have got pulled over a lot.
I never got pulled over in that car.
Oh, I got pulled over a few times in that car.
Did you?
Yeah.
Never got pulled over in that car. I've only been pulled over twice, I think. 3 times.
Yeah, I've been pulled over.
It's because you're a dodger. So what was after that for me? Was it the Alpha after that?
So yes, you'd have gone to the Alpha, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so I loved that car. It was awesome. Used to handle like a canal barge round corners. You go around a roundabout and it just goes zoop. But it was 2 litre T-Spark, dark midnight blue, and the guy that had it before had put the 3 litre cup kit on it, so it looked like a 3 litre cup kit. The only thing that was bad about that car was the spoiler again was that big that the boot hinges didn't stay up.
Yeah.
So if you put the boot up, it would just go and fall down. But again, I love that car. Obviously, Alphas is the way the Alphas. In fact, Alphas being Alphas, my very first day in that car, drove down the bypass and it broke.
Clutch, weren't it?
Yeah, the slave cylinder on the clutch went straight away. First day, it was straight in the garage. And I think that car did spend more time in the garage than it did on the road. Yeah. But I loved it. It looked awesome. And again, that is another car that if I saw one, I would buy one. And they are expensive now.
Yeah, it was problem after problem, but I mean, I think I only drove it like 2-3 times. But it was nice. It just revved. It just kept going.
It kind of had that Italian sound, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Considering you hadn't really done anything to that car, it was
And
quite standard. It sounded good.
it did end up with a new exhaust on it. Because I remember taking it to, what's it called? What's the place by the hill, by Millennium?
Quick Fit.
Quick Fit, yeah, Quick Fit. And they were like, it's going to be like $1,000. And I was just like, I can go and get a full system
From Custom
Custom Chromes with a lifetime guarantee for like 300
quid.
quid. And they were like, go on then. I went, all right. So I did.
Yeah.
And it had that was, again, it had the full system on it. But they managed to keep the sound. It wasn't wasn't exactly the same, but they kept most of the sound. And it was nice still.
Well, Customs, they kind of took pride in how your car sounded.
Yeah.
You'd literally go in and they'd be like, what do you want it to sound like?
They kind of give you the choice.
Yeah. When I went and got the 206, I was like, well, I don't want it to be too beastie, but I'd like it to make a decent noise. And they did.
Yeah. I remember seeing the, obviously, unfortunately, the Alpha died a terrible death. The engine went, repaired it, it went again. So I just kind of cut my losses with it in the end.
Gearbox go in it.
No, it was all engine. Bottom end.
Bottom end went on it, didn't
Bottom
it?
end
I think you
went
did
on
have a gearbox in it, I think, didn't you? That's when at one time.
Can't remember.
I think you did. I think that was when it was in the garage for ages.
The other car had a gearbox.
No, the gearbox went. Are you on about the next one?
Yeah.
That went, but you never fixed it. I think you fixed the Alpha.
Oh, maybe I did. I can't remember.
Been through that many gearboxes.
Fixed that car so many times. It spent more time in the garage than it did anywhere else.
Yeah.
But like it was awesome.
Yeah, by the end of it, I think the bottom end had gone and it was...
Well, it wasn't until I'd started working at the co-op and the guy that I knew there was a mechanic and he goes, oh, them engines are really bad. He goes, like, they've got really low sumps on them. He goes, so by the time the lights come on, it's too late, the engine's buggered. I was like, oh, I wish someone had told me. He goes, you almost need to overfill it.
Yeah.
Because if you overfill them, you've got that safety bracket, that safety margin. So I was like, oh, I wish I'd known you years ago because it's buggered. But yeah, that was.
It was another. It
I'd
was a
love it.
decent
I'd buy that
wasn't
car.
it?
I was looking the other day
Yeah.
because I'm looking maybe at getting like an Alpha GT for the Irish tour that I'm probably gonna do next year.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm thinking that'd be nice to razz around the Irish mountains in and just like a little GT. But then obviously that went from the GTV, which is what I had.
Yeah.
But I did have a quick look at GTVs, and you can get anywhere from like grand to 20, and you're talking crap ones to good ones.
Yeah.
But there's some that look the spitting image of mine, and I'm just like, oh.
But then again, with an Alpha, whether you buy a good or a crap one, that good one's still probably going to be crap. It's still probably going to cause your issues.
The only thing that worries me, I'm worried I'm going to buy an Alpha, and my very first day, it's going to break down. It's going to be clutch gone. And I'll be like, oh, here we go again. It's just a thing about Italian sports cars.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But it was a nice car.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So next my second car.
If you want.
On to my next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, because that would probably been in order. I'd have probably got that around. So yeah. So my next one was a Fiesta Z-Tech S.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was a Y reg, so it'd have been around
That was
about the 2000.
2001 or whatever.
Yeah, 2001. Again, good car, weren't it? Got a bargain on it. It was, I think about $3,000, weren't it?
I can't even remember where you got that from.
I got it from Birmingham.
And it was a good car.
Yeah. No, it was a nice chap, weren't he? He'd had it from new and he was selling it. And it was a good car. I went to go and see it. I think he had it up for like 3-4. Offered him 3. He was like, oh, I wanted this much. And I was like, oh, I'll give you 3 too. And he was like, yeah, so I took it off him. And all in all, it was a pretty good car, weren't it? Again, it was probably the driver that was the issue on this one.
You had that for a while, didn't you? And then I had it for a while.
Well, I had it, and the problem with them cars is it's the oil. So it has a specific oil, and I think it likes to use a lot of oil. And I'm not very good at checking the oil. But that car would like to tell you that it needed oil after the engine was already done. So the bottom end went on it, and then the light came on and told me that it needed some oil. My own fault. But I fixed it. I think I got a second-hand engine, swapped out the bottom end, and so on. Got it working again. And you needed a car, didn't you? So you had it off me.
Yeah.
We swapped and changed a lot of cars actually.
You had that for quite a while, didn't you? Because I was.
Yeah, because I was in Coventry.
Yeah, I was in Coventry then.
And
I've gone through other cars before that.
And then I think you got a different car. You got a different car, didn't you?
My car after my Alpha.
We'll get to that, won't we? That's how long that we had the Fiesta for.
Yeah, it passed around a little bit, didn't it? We had it for a few years. So my next one was a Vauxhall Vectra GSI, and it was mental.
It was the beast.
It was crazy.
The beast that got away in my eyes.
2.5 V6, and it shifted. I remember.
Is this when you bought it?
When I bought it, obviously I used to be a bit of a boy racer. We'd race around town.
Yeah,
a little bit.
A few of the boy racers.
Yeah, we knew more. Well, we knew a few, and there was a lad that had one similar, and he rocked up, and he was like, "Do you want to race?" I was like, "Go on then." And literally, we raced down the bypass, and I'm not much of a racer really. Well, I don't mind racing, but I know my limits. I know when to I'm not going to do something dangerous, for example. I remember going round the roundabout on the bypass and coming back into town, and he was behind me because he slowed down to go.
Yeah, I think he took off to start with.
Off.
You were 4 up, weren't you? I think the only difference was the weight.
Yeah.
You had 4 in your car. He had 2 in his car.
Yeah, and obviously I account for 2 as well. But literally round the roundabout, coming back, and there was a bit where the stones used to gather in the middle. So the cars would go round and then it'd leave stones in the middle, and I went straight over it. And I remember he got into town, he was like, "You flicked a stone up and smashed my windscreen." I'm like, "Sorry." I was like, "Didn't mean to." And he had a bit of a wobble about that, but...
I suppose they're the risks you take, innit?
Yeah. But yeah, that unfortunately died. It was dodgy. There was loads wrong with that car.
I think that was one of the ones.
They remember what happened? The suspension was held together by a wheel nut.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really dodgy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lucky thing for us at that time, we had a really good mechanic, really honest, sorted us out, and he used to shake his head at us. Some of the car we'd bring in.
He'd be like, "What have you brought in now?"
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But as much as we love that car, that was one of the nails, wasn't it? I think, unfortunately.
It was a bad buy.
Yeah.
It was a bad buy. Well,
I mean, when we went to buy it, alarm bells were ringing, weren't they? We should have probably
just
walked
said no.
away.
Yeah.
But boys and their toys. No, yeah.
Do you know the reason why I wanted that?
Why?
It's going to sound petty.
Why?
Because Dad wanted one, he hadn't bought one. So I bought one. Yeah. When Dad was Dad had a Vauxhall Omega Elite. This was like back in the late 90s, and he wanted to get one of those. He's seen it in Martin Rumble's garage when he took his car in for service. And then I remember him saying, then when I seen one and I had a chance to buy it, I was like, this will piss him off. I don't think he really bothered. But...
Well, I think that's the reason why the Vectra is why I fell in love with Vauxhalls. After that, I really wanted an Astra.
Yeah? What kind of Astra?
I really wanted an Astra. Well, it would have been
you wanted a GSI originally.
GSI back in the day, weren't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you wanted the VXR, the HVXR.
Yeah, when it kind of come out. And then, I went off Vauxhalls for a certain reason, which we'll find out
come
soon.
to that in a minute. Yeah, that's another story. So, yeah, that was the black Vectra. I've just remembered two cars that I forgot about earlier. after the Vectra. So at that point, the Vectra had gone. I still had the Alpha. The Alpha was on the drive, wasn't it? The Vectra was on the drive.
Yeah.
And they were both foobarred. And I managed to pick up a cheap little
Peugeot.
I know, but I had the bikes before that, didn't I?
Oh, the bikes.
Yeah, so I had a TZR50, which I could ride on my licence. That ended up breaking, didn't it?
Yeah.
Even the key snapped off in the tail at the petrol station.
Yeah, you had so many amount of times people would have to come pick you up.
Yeah. Which was a nightmare. Then I passed my CBT and got a Cagiva Mito, which was awesome.
Yeah, the red and white one that was.
Yeah.
See, I'm not very good with bikes, so I have to go by colours.
So my little Cagiva Mito, it was one of the old ones. It was de-restricted, so it'd do 100 mile an hour. Not with my fat arse on it, no. But it was quick. It was nippy, and I nearly killed myself on it one day. So I decided that bikes probably weren't for me. Hence the reason why I've never gone for big bikes, because I've always been tempted, but decided not to. So yeah, there was a couple of bikes, and then it was the red.
Well, that's the reason I don't buy bikes, because I will kill myself.
Kill yourself.
I don't even want to feel the power. I don't want to feel the speed.
I think as soon as you're in, aren't you? And yeah. So then I had, it was just a cheap little run around. Some guy was selling it at work. He's like, "Oh, my grand's she's selling it. She doesn't drive it anymore. Do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then." And literally, it was just, I think it was about 200 quid, something like that. It was just a cheap little 1 litre thing, just to get me to and from work at the time.
I think we've got a couple of yours we need to fly through now.
Yes.
So from there, let's talk about the Rover.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the two I just remembered.
Yeah. So we're still in order.
So it was the Cabriolet first, wasn't it?
Bearing in mind, I had the Fiesta the whole of this time.
Yeah. So it was the Rover 2.
It was the 216, the green Cabriolet first, weren't it?
The 216 Cabriolet,
which had the Honda engine in it, from right.
Yeah.
The Honda engine that used to rev to like 8,000.
It was fast. Well, it was a.
It was the 1.6, wasn't it?
Remember the spoiler?
Oh, it was an aftermarket spoiler.
It had been abused by whoever had it before, and if you touched the spoiler, it lived on its own. It wasn't bolted down properly, and one side of the car had stars on it, and they didn't put the stars on the opposite side because they didn't actually stencil it out, and they don't know how to put them on so they look the same. So they just left them in the back of the car. What else was wrong with that car? Why did I get rid of it in the end?
There was something wrong with it, weren't it?
I know
There'd probably been engine issues.
I don't think it was that bad. I think it was.
Was it like...
Didn't Alex sell his car and I got that instead?
No, because that's...
And then we left it on
Who
the
bought
drive.
it?
That lad came aboard it, didn't he?
Yeah, some random, weren't it? So you did actually sell a car.
It did get sold.
Conrad has a tendency to just scrap cars.
I think I've sold half of my cars and scrapped the other half.
I've scrapped 2, I think. Yeah, 2. Do you know what they are?
No.
You don't know any of them, do you? One of them you definitely should know.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The one that broke our hearts. My heart.
Your heart, yeah.
And the Fiesta got scrapped, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but I took the wheels off the cabriolet because it had the MG ZR alloys on it.
Yes.
And at the time, my mate Alex was selling his Tomcat. It was lovely, wasn't it? His Tomcat.
It was good.
It was pristine.
I mean, it weren't as good as what Alex made it out to be. Alex loved that car.
Don't say Alex. If he watches this, he'll be on.
Don't forget that Tomcat would have beat your Alfa Romeo.
Oh yeah, of course it would. But
we love Alex, by the way.
Alex is a legend. Yeah. Yeah, so we put the MG ZR alloys on it, and it changed the car, didn't it?
Yeah.
So
it did make it look that bit better.
That bit better. And I had that for a while, didn't I?
Yeah, that was a good car.
Then I moved to Coventry, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I took that to Coventry because I remember I used to race to. That was my ex-wife's.
Did something happen to the engine on that one? Was it like gasket or something? Was it?
I think the head gasket went.
That's then.
Yeah.
So that's probably then when you went the Fiesta off me.
That's when I had the Fiesta of you. Yeah.
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 Because what was I driving?
You had the 206 GTI.
No, I didn't.
Did you not? You had the MR2 for a while.
I had the MR2 off Dad. Yeah. Yeah, to my next car. I had my Grandad had managed to find this MR2, white MR2. It was like a G-Reg. So
it was a G-Reg, wasn't it?
It was before the square, after the square one, but it didn't have the spoiler and so on, like the...
Yeah, it wasn't
a bit late. It was one of the first ones of the kind of curvy ones. A G-Reg, what was that bit? A 90...
80 something?
You reckon 80?
Oh no. No, the H wasn't... Remember the Cavalier, the H... That was a H, that was a 1990.
Something dry.
Yeah. 553.
Was that what it was?
Yeah. Obviously, we had that car as well for a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, unfortunately, we never got it. Head gasket had gone on it in the end.
Yeah, Nana did, and then the head gasket went.
Yeah.
And
we were hoping to realise it, but no.
That was, again, it was a family car. It was
Cavalier
GSR 2000. Nana had it for
bit
years.
limited edition, weren't it? It was, yeah.
You don't see them anymore.
No. Was that an ex-police car?
No.
No, it was the one before, weren't it?
Yeah, they had a white Senator that was an ex-police car that was like... Rapido.
Yeah, that was before they took all the mods off. Before they sold them. Now they take them all off, don't they?
Yeah.
But back in the day, no.
It was quick, that car was. Yeah.
So yeah, white MR2. I had it for a bit. It was a rear wheel drive. No, it weren't for me. So, what did I go to then?
Then it's got to have been the 206, surely.
No. I got the 106 Quicksilver. Do you remember that other second one that I bought from Aviston?
Nope.
I had another Quicksilver. Come on.
Can't remember. You probably did, but I can't remember.
I did. I had another Quicksilver. And then, what happened, you got a car, and I had the Fiesta back.
Yeah, because I had the hire car, didn't I, for work?
Yeah, then you had I think you were doing hire cars, weren't you?
Yeah.
Or was that a bit later on? Because I then gave you... We have swapped and changed so many cars. Because I gave you my Clio when you had the hire car. I said, stop hiring.
No. Remember when I was with...
Carrie.
Her that shall...
And you went...
Her that shall not be named. She hasn't got a name. She's dead to me.
The she-devil. The she-witch.
When I was with her, we had those 3008s.
Yes.
So we had 2 of those.
Yeah.
And then when I left Coventry and came back to Nuneaton...
I think
remember,
you were hiring for...
No. Remember I was living at the flat.
Yeah.
And that's when I bought the Cougar. The silver Cougar.
The silver Cougar, yeah. Which then I had for a bit. That's
Then
what I
you
mean.
had it.
So you'd have bought that.
Yeah.
I'd have had the Fiesta back.
Yeah.
Then the Fiesta died again.
Probably my fault.
No, it would have been mine. I ragged it over to Birmingham. Again, forgot to check the oil. I ragged it over to Birmingham to play football because I was late. Shock horror.
It's not like you.
And on the way there, it started to make a funny noise. I was like, it's gone again. And I got there, I turned it off, I turned it back on, and the oil light came on. So then I knew it was done for. So then after that went, I got the 206.
Is that when you got a 206?
Yes, which was probably my nail, wasn't it?
So you had the 206 at that point, and I had
The Cougar.
the Cougar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
No, because I chopped the Cougar in to get the 206.
did you?
Yeah.
Because I had the Cougar, and then I was looking. I get bored really easy with cars. 6 months, and I'm ready to change, aren't I?
I think I'd have had the Cougar off you for a bit when the Fiesta died.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was Domino's at the time. It was a 3-litre V6, wasn't it?
2.5? Wasn't a 3.
It was a big.
It was a big car.
So I swapped it in for a 2.
Because I bought an ex-police car, didn't I?
Yes. So I think that was after the Cougar. Yeah, you went and bought the ex-police car. That's what
Remember,
the Cougar
because we
was
drove
there.
up to. Is it?
We went up to Leeds way, didn't we?
It's something Bridge, Selby Bridge,
I
Shelby
thought
Bridge.
It was Yorkshire, wasn't it?
It was Yorkshire, yeah. And there was a place there that used to be called expolicecars.co.uk.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
all
I remember
they sold,
when we went to get that.
literally, they'd get them from the police, and then they would just decommission them. So they would rip all the stickers off them, take all the lights out of them, and yeah, bought that from there. It was it about £2,000, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was about 2. It was a good deal, weren't it?
Yeah, it was a 2.2, and it was an ex-training car, so it had never been abused, hadn't got many miles on it. So it was a pretty good car, actually. I loved that car.
Yeah.
And the only reason I got rid of that car was because, well, that's one I scrapped, wasn't it? Because there was a problem with the wiring, and no one could figure out where it went. It went to our normal guy. He had no clue.
Paul couldn't. When Paul says I'm struggling, that's when we were like,
yeah.
What?
So it then went to the independent Vauxhall Centre, which is where we live. It's like a independent dealer.
Specialise in Vauxhalls.
And they were like, not a clue. It could be this. It could cost you thousands. It could be this.
Yeah.
We could fix this, and might not be that.
That was the problem.
And
no one knew exactly what
Yeah.
was wrong with it.
And
it
then,
was, we could change this, we could change this, and you went, no. And that's what put me off Vauxhall.
It even went to main dealer, didn't it?
Yeah.
And they had it. Hats off to main dealer. They had it for about 2 weeks, and they must have spent about 10 hours on it.
Yeah.
And they only charged me like 1 hour's labour because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So they gave me all that labour for free, basically, which was a bonus. But yeah, in the end, it ended up getting back to independent Vauxhall Centre, and they just scrapped it for parts or did whatever they did with them.
Yeah.
It was a
They didn't give you a bad price either, did
No.
they, to be fair? They did
No.
give them an alright price.
And after that,
So where was...
that's when I started hiring, was it?
So I had... Yes, you'd have started hiring, and I had the 206. And do you remember... Oh, no, that got scrapped as well, didn't it? 206,
Yeah.
Fiesta. 206 got scrapped because some idiot crashed into me and ran. Drove off. I chased him, and yeah, he was driving like an idiot. I managed to, obviously, I wanted the reg, I got hold of the reg. Turns out it was a fake reg, so yeah, I was screwed. But luckily, my boss at the time says, go and sort yourself a car, and sort you for now, and we'll sort it at a later stage. And that's when we got the Clio.
Which was awesome.
Probably one of the best cars. But best car, probably up there with one of the best cars I've bought.
Yeah, you just knock your microphone off. It's almost off.
Oh, it was almost there.
Podcast maybe. So, yeah, I mean, literally,
Clio.
we drove to Stoke, didn't we?
Stoke, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy, was sound.
Well, I was quite lucky. I spoke to him, I messaged him, tried ringing him, and he'd just come out of hospital. And he was like, I've had loads of phone calls about it, mate. He's like, you're the first one I've answered. So, yeah, went up there, went to see it. I didn't even haggle. I think 1,600 quid.
We snapped his arm off, didn't we?
1,600 quid. I did not haggle. I went, I'll take it.
And that was was it a 50?
It was a 53.
53, Reg.
53. It was
Dark
a Clio 172.
Dark blue.
Yeah. What a car.
Oh, it was awesome.
It really was. Even though you called it the death trap.
It wasn't a death trap. It's just so much torque and power on those little tiny skinny wheels.
I think it was the little wheels, little 15s, weren't they?
I remember coming, literally, I used to say last time, you come out of the place where we used to park, put your foot down, and you'd be like, whoa, and if you weren't awake, you'd be in the side of a car.
Yeah, you would.
But it was so fast. The amount of people used to try and race us in that car,
yeah,
and would lose terribly.
Yeah.
There'd always be somebody in a BMW that come right up your backside, and you're just like, oh, really?
I mean, he'd catch you sort of top end, wouldn't they? But
it was just...
It held its power down, didn't it?
It was a rocket ship.
Yeah. And I'm never, ever looking for that car in the slightest. I was looking for an Alpha, weren't I?
Yeah,
I was looking for an Alpha.
Remember that dodgy 147 we saw in Leamington? Oh, my God.
Yeah. I think the bottom end... the egg gasket had gone on it. It was creamy.
I remember we looked at the top and it was creamy. And he was just like,
They do that.
Yeah, well, like, come on, mate.
Do one, mate. We're not that stupid.
Yeah.
And I think I looked at something else. What else was it? Can't remember, but it was a last resort. I couldn't find anything.
I thought it was the guy that went, oh, that's a different combination, isn't it? But that was the other guy.
No, that was when we bought the A3.
Yeah, because we went to look at a cabriolet, didn't we?
I went to go and look at a cabriolet, but then we came back to... I had a few cars, didn't I? A Scirocco.
Yes.
The A3.
Yeah.
And... But there were all sort of little cars, but he was like, well, they're all different cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they're the cars I like, mate. Yeah. He tried to talk me into getting something else because he couldn't be bothered to pull this car out.
Yeah.
We just walked off.
Yeah. Car salesman, do your job properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are we now?
So I had the Clio.
I was in hire cars.
Cars.
So I had like Hyundai i30s for ages.
And then did I get the van? And we started doing the transport.
We started doing the job, didn't we?
The Clio was sat on the drive, and he was hiring cars. So I said, "You're an idiot. Take this car. It's sat there doing nothing."
And then I had that for a little bit, didn't I?
Yeah, and then you bought a car, didn't you? What did you do? What would have been the next one?
I had a Cougar, the white Cougar.
The white Cougar. I mean, this went a bit sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at the time I was doing a lot of miles, wasn't I? What was I doing? I started working in rugby and doing a lot of miles.
You were working a lot. You were doing your lorry driving, weren't you? And it probably was the more sensible option at the time.
Yeah.
So from the Cougar, yeah, it's you again.
No.
You reckon you've missed one?
We've missed one.
What? Of yours?
I had it at the same time as I had the Cougar. The cabbie.
The A4, the cabbie!
Yeah. A4 Cabriolet, 2.4 Sport.
What? I'm going to say what a bag of crap. But it wasn't. We had it for ages. It passed the MOT every year.
I bought that in the dark.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, this was when Conrad, I think, finally decided that I was probably the faster driver because we had to blitz it there, didn't we?
Yes.
Where was it? Was it Cambridge way?
No, it was right down in Essex.
Essex, weren't it?
Yeah. On some dodgy...
it down with rain.
It wasn't a dodgy estate, but there was massive road bumps everywhere, weren't there?
Yeah.
And this A4 was low as anything. It had been lowered. We didn't actually realise how low it was until we got it home. And we looked at it and went, that's low.
Yeah, that was the time when you went, do you know what? You drive. You're going to get us there a bit quicker.
Yeah. But again, that was... I can't remember how much you paid for that. It wasn't much.
No, it weren't a bad deal.
Why did you buy that?
I think you bought that before.
I think maybe you got rid of the van. You'd stopped working on the van and you wanted your car back.
Maybe.
And I needed to get a car.
Maybe, yeah. I think you... No, do you know what? When did you get that A4? I think you got the A...
We didn't have it till Westbury Road.
Westbury, yeah, it's got to have been Westbury, I think. Yeah, was there something up with it? Did it sit in the back of Westbury for
I don't
ages?
think there was. No, the only time it sat in the back of
What
Westbury
car
for
sat in the
ages.
back of Westbury? There was a car that sat in the back of Westbury.
It was the Audi. The Audi.
The Audi.
But it wasn't the fact that
It was broke.
I had two, didn't I? I had
Yeah.
that, and I had the
Cougar. I think you did. I think you bought the A4 before the Cougar.
I did buy it before the Cougar.
Yeah, and I think you used it for a bit, didn't you? There was a reason why.
I can't remember.
I'm sure.
But the Audi was my summer car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'd race around in my Audi.
Well, to be fair, Conrad's probably had two cars for quite a bit of his life.
Yeah. Well, got two cars now. Got the daily.
Not just two cars. He's got an RS5 and a Tesla.
And it's just a performance Tesla. The only reason I bought a performance.
He didn't buy just a normal Tesla.
Well, the reason being was I expected the Tesla performance would hold its value, but Teslas haven't held their value at all. So I'm currently in a negative. But we'll talk about it at the end.
You're a bit screwed with a Tesla.
Talk about
I
it
think
at the
you've just got to keep it.
Yeah.
Or-
But I had the A4 Cabriolet for years, and I sold the A4 Cabriolet. Well, I didn't sell it, did we? We scrapped it.
It did have to be scrapped
It's
by
because
the end. It was the roof didn't work.
The roof stopped working, and
It started
It
smoking. didn't
started
it?
holding lots of water as
I
well.
think it did.
Water was leaking from the roof into.
I think the poor thing had just been sat for so long.
Yeah, I
it
didn't
just
start
didn't know
it
it was
very
an
often.
engine anymore.
No.
It just sat for so long.
It started.
It did.
It's just the roof was buggered.
The roof
and the
was
roof was
buggered.
going to cost $1,000.
I think there was.
And it was only the car wasn't worth it.
I think when we started it was smoking as well, and we were just like.
I don't think it was.
Only because I think something was on it, not because there was anything wrong with it. But I think we were just like. You were going to sell it, weren't you? But I think you just got to the point where you were like, it's not really worth it.
It's because I knew I wanted something different.
Yeah.
So at that point, I didn't have. So I had the Cougar, the white Cougar.
Yeah.
And I had the A4, and the A4 used to sit in the garage or be used in the summer.
It was used as a spare car.
Spare cars also. If you ever
need
need anything, one of us would jump in it.
What used to annoy me about that goddamn car is it sat in that garage for years and years and years, and it only ever got pulled out to be taken for its MOT, and it passed every time. And poor old me would have a list like this, 500 quid every time to get me goddamn car fixed.
How that car passed so many MOTs, I do not know. Literally every year, it would pass. All the time. And the funny thing was, it'd have an advisory one year, and it'd go in the next year, and it didn't have an advisory. And I hadn't fixed it. So,
it
was always the same garage as well, so it's not like it was a different garage.
The reason I used to laugh at it was, it was a 2.5 V6.
2.4.
2.4 V6,
2.4.
sorry. It was slow. It's like an old school American, like they've got these big ass engines in them, but they're doing like.
It was a cruiser.
200 brake.
It was a cruiser.
He had an exhaust on it again. Was that a Custom Chrome's exhaust?
It was Custom Chrome's exhaust. Yeah.
This isn't an advert for Custom Chrome, by the way.
Because they're
good. They
are
make
good,
a good product
Yeah.
and they've got good customer service.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't been for a fair few years. So I don't know if it's still like that.
No.
But
I remember I went in with that car and they said, "Oh, what do you want?" I was just like,
I want it now.
I was like, I just want it to be a bit louder. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "We'll just cut the back boxes off and see what it sounds like." I was like, "All right." So literally, that's what they did. They cut the back boxes off, started it up, and it was like, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, "What do you reckon?" I was like, "Yeah." And then they just put tits on it.
Sounded like a Ferrari, but moved like a bus. It was embarrassing.
It was one of those cars that you'd hear it and you'd go,
"Oh, what's?"
and then you go, "Oh." There's me posing like soft top down, my bald head.
So, next step from the Cougar, I think this is where you took the step up, ain't it?
I next leveled.
Yeah, I think this is where you got into a bit more money, didn't you? And you were
Had some
very
pennies.
stable in life.
Yeah.
So you took the next step up.
Yeah.
You fell back in love with cars, didn't you? Again, I think, because you had a stage where you bought a Cougar.
Leave my Cougar alone. Leave my Cougar alone. Yeah, I went next level, didn't I?
Yeah.
I went for a Range Rover Sport.
Yeah.
What model was it? I can never remember.
Oh,
Is it wasn't a 495? because that was the big Ranger. Was it the big Ranger? No, it was a 495. It was a
Yeah.
495. The 405 was the big Range Rover.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know the codes is because I used to deliver the seats for them, and that's what made me want it. I used to drive past this like track every night to deliver seats, and it was like jungle track, and I was just like,
Oh yeah, because we went on the experience,
went on
didn't
the
we, when you
experience.
bought your Range Rover?
Yeah, which
good
is-
experience.
Yeah, it wasn't that expensive. It was quite cheap.
Me and you and Rob went, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was only like an
I
extra.
think you and
30
Rob
quid.
got a better deal though.
Why?
We all did certain stuff, didn't we?
Yeah.
You got to do the
jungle track.
the jungle, which is in the water.
Yeah.
Rob got
did
to do.
some
Oh
of the
yeah,
mountain
mine weren't
stuff.
that good.
Yeah, you were just.
I got the worst part of that.
Yeah.
I didn't pay anything. I was happy to be there. To be honest, it was really good.
Yeah.
And I was the younger one at the time.
Mm.
You know, I was probably the less experienced of the three of us. Unfortunately, I'll put my hand up.
But it was fun. I remember recording that on my phone. And it looks like you're just driving down a flat thing.
Yeah.
But you were actually like
Yeah.
going down this massive steep bit.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video from it. I found a video somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. But that was fun.
It was cool experience, that one.
It was for an experience day. It's well worth the price because it wasn't that expensive.
It was about 50 quid, wasn't it? 50 quid each. Was it a bit more?
I think it was about. I think it's about 200 quid for me and Rob, and then it was about an extra 20 quid to add you on.
Yeah.
So if you did even it out,
Yeah.
it was
not far off. Like
Yeah.
70 each. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But obviously, we actually had lunch and we had a tour of the factory as well, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Did you stay for lunch or did you go? I don't think you stayed for lunch, did you?
No.
So me and Rob had
No.
posh little sandwiches and
Yeah, I drove separate. I
drove-
think I
yeah.
did drive separate, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that was my posh Range Rover Sport. That was a wedding car for many people.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Andy, Steve-O, and Steve.
Andy Stever.
Andy, Steve-O, Steve-O and Sonia had it for theirs.
Yeah.
And Charlotte and Reese had it for theirs.
Yeah. Yeah, we put bunting, is it?
Bows.
Bows, the
No,
bows,
ribbons.
one of ribbons
Bows
on
and
it
ribbons.
twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
So, from the
And
Range Rover, go on.
The only reason I sold the Range Rover was because I was going to be an adult and buy a house.
Ah, yes.
And I
yes,
haven't-
it was.
still haven't
Yeah,
bought a
still
house.
haven't. No, bought another car.
Well, that's kind of what happened in the end because I got annoyed, didn't I, with that whole house buying thing. It didn't work.
Yeah.
My mortgage guy was a bit of a drip and messed it all up. And I was so stressed out about it. I was just like,
I'm going to buy another car.
So literally, my
Well-
birthday was my fault. Was it my
Well,
40th?
from
40th
there,
birthday.
I'd have gone from Clio to a new car, didn't I?
Mm.
So, what did you get? What did you get after the Range Rover?
That's where we are now.
Yeah. What did you go on then? What did you get after the Range Rover?
So that's when I bought the RS5.
Ah, so I'd have bought my other one before you bought your RS5.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one that got away. The Audi A3. Not an S3 or anything like that, but it had a 3.2 V6, and it was just a beast.
It's like a sleeper.
It was a
wasn't
sleeper, yeah. It's basically it's the equivalent of the R32, isn't it?
Yeah, the Golf R32.
Yeah, the
but
Golf R32, but it just wasn't as. Do you know what I mean? It didn't have the exhaust. It was same car, but
remember the horrible interior it had in it when we bought it.
oh yeah, it did have some. See, I think some old boy had it before me. That's why it was in such good condition.
Yeah.
Because it had a tape deck in it. A tape deck, and it was an 04 plate.
Yeah.
So tapes had gone by this point, but it had a tape deck in it. It had some horrible
Was it beige?
beige. Yeah, beige. It weren't tan, was it? It was
No.
beige. So yeah, we quickly got rid of that and put
We got some S-line
S-line leather seats in it.
I went down in the Range Rover to pick that
You
up.
did actually,
So
yeah.
I definitely had the Range then.
But again, that A3, good price, weren't it?
Mm.
3.5 grand?
Mm.
4 grand?
I can't remember where we got that from.
Right. So we went down to London to look at that one, which looked really good, but oh my
It
god,
was an absolute bag of nails, wasn't
bag
it?
of nails, yeah.
Remember saying to you, how would you feel about driving this to your mate's house, being a new car?
Yeah, it was all
And
everything
scratched,
everything was
dented.
scratched, dented, and whatever. And I was I really wanted one. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but once we do that, it could be a good car. And we had a little look, didn't we? And there was this one which would have been closer to sort of M3 Richmond sort of way,
Yeah.
was it? It's out that way, weren't it? It just, I don't think it had come up on our searches before because it was a bit far away, but because we were in London at the time, yeah, we thought.
And it was slightly older,
It was
wasn't
older
it?
than what we wanted, yeah.
Because you wanted the bigger grille than the front,
I
didn't you?
wanted the S-line sort of thing, didn't
Yeah.
I? But they hadn't really done the S-line trim before then, I don't think.
No.
So we're on the way and we were like, this needs to be immaculate for us to say yes. And it was,
wasn't it?
It was, wasn't
It was epic.
Yeah. Car salesman took the keys, said, there's a road up there. Go and do what you need to do and come back.
Yeah. They're all like that down there, aren't they?
We've had some pretty good ones.
Because when we went to spit the RS5 up, that's what the guy said.
Again, he said, yeah. And
he did point, he pressed that button and it makes it sound loud. And I was just like, oh, okay.
I think he was he gave us the keys on there.
Well,
he didn't need to tell us in the Astra, did he? Because we knew where we were going. But again, he just chucked the keys and said,
just off you go, bring it for a drive,
Yeah.
come back. And I remember him saying, I remember saying to him, we walked in, didn't we? And I said to him, because if this is what you say it is, it's going to be the easiest car sale you've ever made. Quickest and easiest car sale you've ever had in your life. And he was like, all right. It wasn't even him, was it? It was his mate.
It was his mate's car. Oh, no, his mate owned the business. He just come in and
just
did a few transactions for him here and there.
Yeah, because he was busy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And literally walked in, tried to sort the finance out, didn't we?
Ended up
And
paying
the
cash,
finance
didn't
didn't
you?
go through because I had a load of crypto at the time. I didn't want to sell my crypto because I was probably glad I did because literally a couple of days after that it went. But yeah, crypto paid for that car, which is why the number plate says RS541. So 1 is the ticker for the crypto that paid for it, Harmony 1. And yeah, still got loads of crypto.
So yeah, the RS5, I love that car.
It's nice.
Is that my favourite car? I think that's my favourite car you've had, ain't it?
You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, it's well looked after. It's looked after.
It is looked after, and it was looked after as well.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hardly done any miles still.
beautiful. It scares me though. It scares me.
It can be a bit of a monster.
Yeah.
If you don't treat it with a bit of respect and you start chucking it into corners. And round bends, it will go. Whoa.
If you want to, sometime you feel like you're going to accelerate out that roundabout, be aware because it might kick back.
Yeah, it's more slow moving stuff when you put your foot down, rather than going fast round bends and stuff.
Yeah.
It'll just suddenly go, you ain't got the talent, mate, and it will literally show you that you've not got it.
Yeah.
And you have to hold on to it.
So from then, this was the point I think you decided. Conrad was always after a classic car, always after a nice classic car that you could keep.
Future classic.
Future classic. Yeah. Future classic.
So which is what the RS5 is.
Which is not what you bought it for, is it? It wasn't until kind of a bit after you realised.
It was a daily for about 6 months.
This is the classic car that I always wanted, and I don't think you really realised that you bought it, did you?
No.
So you decided, this can't be mine, daily.
I don't want to put the miles on it because
you wanted
it's still only done 30-something thousand.
Yeah.
So
it was the right decision.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it worked out that way because he was going to buy an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a Maserati, not Alfa Romeo.
I nearly bought a Maserati. Oh, remember taking.
We took that for a test drive, didn't we? Oh, did we? No, we saw one when I went for a test drive.
Me and Rob went for a test drive in one.
Almost crashed it.
In the wet in Derby. Yeah. Rear wheel drive, floored it out of the garage, and it went. And I was like, ooh, caught it. But yeah, that was fun. So where am I now? So I've now got my.
I'm up to date. I've got my A3.
Yeah.
And I think your car comes next.
Yeah. So obviously we know where we are now. We've got the Tesla. It's not on the screen, is it? It's down here. No.
Don't wreck it.
Don't
press stop.
Yeah. So decided to go with a Tesla. Well, the only reason I went for a Tesla was because I really wanted an Audi RS e-tron GT.
Yeah.
But they were 120 grand when I looked. And I was like, I am not spending 120 grand on a car. Regardless of how much I want one, I'm not spending that on it. So I thought, I'll wait a couple of years, get in a Tesla for now, Get a performance because there's a chance the performance might hold its value a bit better, and then look at changing it into the RS e-tron in a couple of years, which is where I'm at now.
You're kind of itching, ain't you?
I looked at what's finances left on it, and
I bet you're not far off.
I misread the small print a little bit. They said you can give it back after. I believed I read it as half the period, so it's on 4 years PCP, and you can just give it back, no questions, job done. After, like I said, I thought it said half the period. It's not half the period; it's half the payments. So I'm about $8,000 off. So about 8 months off giving it back, basically. No problems, no issues. So that's probably where I'm going to go. I think keep hold of it for another 8 months and then just be like, take it away. It's only because they've lost so much money. We were looking, you can get one of mine now for 25, and I paid 50 for my Tesla. Yeah, and well, it's on PCP, so the final payment's like 17 grand if I want to keep it. But I mean, I probably should keep it because it's an awesome car. But I don't want to spend
Tesla. It's an impressive bit.
It's a good. They say a lot of Teslas are bad with like panel fit and all that sort of stuff, and creaking. But mine's a particularly good one.
It is a good car. It's a good car. I will admit it. I'll never buy one, but yeah.
No.
So from there on, from the Audi, we go to the Astra. But do we tell them what happened to the Audi?
Probably not.
No?
Don't incriminate yourself or anybody.
Oh no, I'm just gonna.
It was.
I let someone drive it and they smashed it up.
That's probably.
That's all I'm gonna
Let's
say.
leave it there.
I let someone drive it. They smashed it up. Yeah, they did a good job on it. I mean, if we knew what we were doing, maybe. But I think it.
Oh, just a thought.
What?
You've had another car. After that.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him now the reason why.
Sorry, I just remembered.
Yeah, so that was done. It was wrote off, and not officially, but we knew it was done for, didn't we?
There just wasn't enough in it to fix it.
It
was a mess.
It done the sump on it, I think. Oil was out of it. The oil was gone completely. There was no oil left in it.
And you tried to drive it home, hadn't you?
Yeah, and
it was a mess.
Yeah. So from there on, Big Brother let me use his Tesla for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to give it him back. I could see he was getting annoyed.
I don't care.
No, I know he wouldn't. But no, we didn't. We couldn't put any more miles
stone
on that car, could we?
Yeah.
We wanted the RS to be below miles. So I did find a car, and again, what a car! I'm lucky when it comes to getting cars. 750 quid. It had done full service history from Ford. How many miles has it done?
It's some old boy had it for years.
50,000 miles, weren't it?
Some old boy had it for years, didn't they?
58,000 miles, I think it was. They'd had it from new. I was the second owner. I had it for 750 quid.
And you killed it, didn't you?
I killed it. I had a little bump in it. Which could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? We patched it up.
We did our Matt Armstrong special, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We didn't record any of it. It was pre.
No.
It was.
We fixed it together. There was a wing. What was it? Bonnet? No. Bumper, wing, and...
That was it. Headlight.
Headlight. So that weren't too bad. So we had that. And we fixed it. We didn't fall out once.
No.
Yeah, it was good.
There was a bit of swearing.
There was a bit of swearing, yeah. But we fixed it. Obviously, when I come to sell it, it was not worth as much as when I bought it. I didn't get a bad price for it. Some young lad come and bought it because he was after something a bit more economical. I'm so glad he had it. 'Cause it was a good little car. It had so many more flipping miles, so much to give someone. He was well happy. He was well happy with it. I was like, as long as you don't care about what it looks like, there was a couple of different colours by this point. He was well happy.
It was 3 different colours.
It was 3 different colours, yeah. I was driving down the treble 4 in the Fiesta, and a piece of trim fell off it, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. that's when I did a little tinkering. What can I afford? And I sent Conrad a message. Basically, I'm doing it. I need a new car. I'm after a daily driver. What was it? I'm after a daily driver.
Something sensible.
Something sensible, but with a bit of poke still, because you know how I like this beer. Yeah, okay.
And then
sound.
Me and my business partner Rob took it upon ourselves to find Ben a new car.
And they come up with the VXR.
It's a great daily.
It's not a daily, is it?
It's got a bit of poke.
It's got a lot of poke.
But yeah, you're happy with it, aren't you?
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it.
And obviously we've used it a bit for the challenges, and
yes.
I
you took it out, didn't you?
Through its paces for the Welsh 400, which are on the video. We're doing the videos at the moment. So episode 1 was out a few weeks ago. Episode 2 should be out by now as well. Yeah. So go on there, check them out, and you'll see me being very good with his car. Because he drives it like he stole it.
I don't, because I can't afford to drive it like I stole it. Honestly, you can put 20 quid in it. It will not get to quarter of a tank. And if I blitz it to work, which is 10 mile there and back, it'll be gone. It will be gone. No, it's not. Give me more!
It is a thirsty little monster, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
I love did you know? Have you spotted the fuel gauge doesn't work very well?
No, I think the fuel. So when I'm absolutely crapping myself, thinking I'm running out of fuel, I actually don't think I'm close to it.
I remember putting a full tank in and not going very far, getting to the end of the day, and it being like a quarter of a tank, and I'm like, no way have I used that much fuel.
Well, I figured it out when we did the
John O'Groats.
John O'Groats to Land's End, because we left. Did we fill up at Ninian? I think. We filled up.
We must have filled up here, yeah.
Filled up, so I filled it up as you do, maybe a click or two, gone in, paid, come back out, started the car, literally drove down the road. It's on 3/4 already. But I'm literally I've drove down the treble for 4 miles.
So for that, it's got a really big hole in the tank at the top, and every time you fill it up, it just pisses at the top.
But I've not run out of fuel in it.
Oh, that's jinxed it, hasn't it? Touch wood, quick.
Well,
touch wood.
I think maybe. Oh God, I've done it again. I'm sorry.
Useless.
Yeah, I think the fuel gauge is maybe a bit wonky. Like it registers that even when it's full, there's not that much in it. But when you're at quarter of a tank, it seems to go.
I did fill up twice on my first day with you using your car because I was worried.
Yeah. Because you get to maybe that's probably why I haven't run out though, because I get to about quarter of a tank, I register it, and I'm like, I'm not
risking it. Yeah. So yeah, that's our car history.
Which there's some good cars, yeah.
Some epic cars.
We have had some fun cars. I mean, if you had them all lined up outside, people would come and go, what about that? That's my boy. Yeah. There's a few in there between us.
What would you buy again? What are you going to say? You're going to say the 172.
There's 2 cars from mine that I would buy again, and one is the 172, and the second one is the A3.
You love that A3, didn't you?
We had unfinished business, unfortunately, I think. I loved it. It held a very special place in my heart. And once it had been crashed, everyone was just like, Ben, that's your baby. Like, what the hell has happened? And I'm just like, it's gone. Let's just forget about it. It's gone. It's that simple. It's gone.
Yeah.
That is all I used to say to people. Yeah. It's just gone.
Which one do you reckon I would? I think I would have told you.
So you're Alpha Romeo,
yeah, I think so.
I think that would be your mate.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, out of all your cars, your previous cars, do you know which one I would have? It was a nail, but I loved it.
The Vectra?
The Vectra. I loved that Vectra. Absolutely loved it. And the sad thing for me, Roy, was Conrad left his Vectra in his Alpha to die at my house. and he moved over to Carve, and I had to look at him every morning, just right away. And especially that Vectra, it broke my heart.
Everything would rot on that drive because it was right under that stupid
tree as well. Yeah, so they were green.
The tree sap would
Tree sap would
ruin every car.
Every car we had, it did it in. It was horrible trying to clean it.
Yeah.
But
So,
the Vectra, which out of mine would you have?
I think I would probably one of two. Either the Fiesta
Yeah?
or the 172, I think.
Yeah. I think the 172 holds a place in both of our hearts, don't it?
Yeah.
It's a Renault. Who wants a Renault? Do you know what I mean? I think that's how we looked at it.
I think it's one of those cars that if you, like I said last time, the Williams, it's the same sort of thing. If we had a decent one and we could put it in the garage and keep it and look after it like we're doing now with the RS5, I think it'd be worth a few pennies.
When we bought that car, it'd have been perfect, wouldn't it, to chuck in a garage and keep. But obviously, I needed to use it. Like it was a daily for me.
It was too far gone, wasn't it? At the end.
Yeah, at the end it was. It had done like 120 odd thousand. It was starting to get to the point. Little nitpicks were going wrong. Windows weren't working by the end of it. Something else, I think. So again, it was like, need to get something else, I think.
So yeah, I think, where are we? We've done.
We're up to date with the cars.
Up to date.
Come on then. Before we end it, next car.
Are we talking car 1 or car 2?
Well, I don't think you're getting rid of the RS.
No.
So after, and what's next?
So
8 months.
So replace. It's going to be electric again, I think, and it depends on what we do work-wise. Because Rob's just gone for a company car, so Rob's now got the all-electric Cupra, whatever it is, Born, I think it is.
Yeah.
And he's on a good deal, so that might be an option for me. But I still really want an e-tron. So maybe, I mean, bear in mind they come down in price massively. You're talking, you can get a decent e-tron now for anywhere between 50 and 60.
It doesn't help that a family member has one, does it?
Oh, she's got
she got something different. She's got an Audi, ain't she? An electric.
Yeah, she's got an e-tron, but it's not the GT RS. She's got the big 4x4 thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm looking at. If I went for something else to go with a future as another future classic, I think something like the Alpha, like the 172, and if I had like silly money, stupid money, I think I'd go Maserati.
You'd go Maserati. So, I mean, my next car, I'm not after anything. I've only had that for a year. It was always an S3, but I couldn't quite afford an S3 this time. So now I've got the Astra. I think it'd be the next step up, and my next car I really want will be an RS3. But
you're swinging more towards the RS3 now, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've always been a free door man.
Yeah, but I don't mind. I'd take that for the RS3. It's my favourite. It's my favourite Audi. I love Audis, and it'd be that one for me. I know there's faster ones out there.
You can join the Audi Quattro owners group. You can actually come on some.
I got you into Audis. You never used to even look at them before I mentioned them. I suppose you were first to get one.
I would really like an M4 as well.
Yeah.
Just for maybe a summer, and then get rid.
Yeah. Classic wise, it'd be the M3 for me. I'd love kind of one of them with both.
The E36 M3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember what it was now.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember last time. I was like, my mental block.
That one. I mean, if I had all the money in the world, it's going to be a Porsche, probably.
Oh yeah.
GT3.
I don't know the numbers on. Well,
No.
I know everyone says GT3 RS. Yeah, get it. But then there's loads of different numbers.
It would be some sort of Porsche bad boy, I think. But
I've always liked the Targa.
Yeah.
Targa and the turbo.
I mean, I love most Porsches. There's only one I don't, and that's the one you're insistent on buying. Boxster.
No, not Boxster.
Not Boxster anymore. Well, you were at one point, weren't you? You were thinking about it, and I was just like, no! No, don't buy a box car. I don't know why.
Yeah, we've gone from that.
Yeah.
Should we call it?
Yeah.
The only reason I'm saying that is one of the cameras has gone off.
Oh.
I think it's this one.
Oh, it's the one looking at me. Oh, it's not looking at me anymore.
Yeah, it's gone off. So, yeah. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Like, subscribe to keep up to date with Drive to Escape.
New video on the Drive Time Escapes?
Yes. So, the video from...
The show?
The show.
Yeah.
And the video from part 2 of the Welsh 400 should have just dropped, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, go check out the Autosport International Show, part 2 of the the Welsh 400.
Yeah.
And like, subscribe for this video to find out what we're doing next.
Just like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
You get to hear his voice and silly jokes. Yeah. Rightio. Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a good one.
See you next time.